Bum, ba, bum, 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 bum. I get the feeling that I'm going to heartily regret even bothering starting this, but you're super drunk right now. Good for you, bro. Good. Hey, it's me. Hey, it's you. Here's that hug. Oh, okay. I'm feeling a little more receptive to hugs now. Am I doing awake at stupid o'clock? That's a great question. I don't know. You'll make me regret it. You always do. Am I still salty? I'm way less salty now. I feel remarkably less salty. Is gay Mortal Kombat in production yet? No, but that's only because I don't own a giant fucking game development company with $1 billion of capital behind it. You know what I mean? As soon as that happens, I'm going to buy Midway. I'm going to buy NetherRealm so that nobody can ever claim to own Mortal Kombat. Then I'm going to own it. And then I'm going to, release Mortal Kombat 12 Gay Edition. And it's going to be fucking amazing. Super chat. Paul is a great. Thank you. Paul, a great. Oh. Dick make you slap somebody. I've just now been alerted by YouTube. Well, you're not that late. You're only 2 minutes in, so, The chat is anxious that I'll snap again. No. I got, I hit my release valve earlier by claiming that I fucked some poor guy's mother. But you know what? It was worth it because I let off that little bit of steam, and then it was like a tea kettle. You know what I mean? That was taken off the stove. You never got the so that deleted, re-uploaded, you scammer. What? I didn't even know how to fucking read that question and even begin to wonder what it was about. That came from the depths of some fucking sad, empty place in your head, man. But the great thing about Paul's chat is that there's never slow mode, so you can just say something right away again. You see? Isn't it nice of me to not put slow mode on for these fucking chats, dude? I think that the late night crew should tell me how nice I am for fucking allowing chat freedom of expression. I understand that sometimes you want to type something like 8 times in a row, and I might put you in timeout for it. But way too merciful to this chat. Yeah, I don't know, dude. When I started doing this streaming shit on Periscope, like I kind of drew the same type of crowd, but smaller. And it was more manageable and shit. And then when I moved the show over here and word got out about it, then I don't know. It just kind of went off the fucking deep end. Jesus, what a poem. I'm not even going to read that poem. What kind of juice am I puffing on? I don't even know, to be honest with you. There's a bottle of shit sitting on my fucking desk. And I grabbed it and plooped it in there. So I think it's like a cinnamon something. Anything you're looking forward to this year? I'm looking forward to quite a bit this year, honestly. I might be moving soon, not, like I said, not out of state, but just to a different pad, which will be cool. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to, getting DFF up and running and getting, a nice little collection of shows behind us and, give people an idea what the show is and what it's going to be like and, shed those that aren't interested and gain more that are. That's pretty exciting. Cinema for Cynics. I hope to keep growing it this year. I got a lot of shit. I got a lot of shit to look forward to, I have 6 fatties prepared for tomorrow's episode of DFF. I hope it's as good as the first one. I believe it will be, my friend. TJ and I did a bunch of work prepping for DFF today. Just tons and tons of reading and cutting up clips and looking at angles on... I guess TJ already said this on a Highdeology, so I can clue you guys in that there will be more than one topic in this next episode. And that will not be a special occasion type of thing on DFF. There will be times where we spend the entire show on one topic if we feel we can fill the time, and there will be times where we skip around between 2 or even 3 topics. Pitch Wars will be coming this week as well, so stay tuned. Wish I had a Wi-Fi on Fridays. I'll have to watch it on Sunday. Well, that's cool, dude. It's all good. Sorry for my fucked up sentence, Paul. Autocorrect fucked up a bunch of the words I type. Yeah, it happens, dude. That's why I try not to go off on people too hard. But sometimes, dude, I gotta be honest with you. Like, I don't think I believe you. I'm not trying to call into question what you're saying, but sometimes I don't think autocorrect is to blame, man. Like, I spend so much time just reading gibberish now that, I wonder if I'm starting to think gibberish too. Fucking love you guys stuff. Yay, more DFF. Thank you, Doom Kid. Yeah, dude. I'm excited for it, man. 90 naked cowboys with hot butthole. Whoa, holy smokes, dude. Oh, we got an outburst. Somebody's got to go sit in a corner. I love his evil nervous system is actually true or something that will make... What? Nonsense. Drunken Peasants is back yesterday and Gorn today. What the fuck? You're asking the wrong dude. You asking the wrong dude. Sometimes some guy being a retard is just some guy being a retard. Yep. Everyone who has weed, listen up. Smoke some, damn it. That might be a good idea. You guys should do a superhero movie themed episode of Pitch Wars sometime. Yeah, dude. We're actually, I guess I could tease what we're doing for the next one. TJ and I are going to Pitch Wars the Star Wars universe. So if we had total control over the Star Wars property and we could do any kind of Star Wars movie we wanted, what would we do? So let's see what TJ comes up with. I've got a good idea already. I can't lie. I type something out and press enter and see what my fingers did and question my sanity. Yeah, that happens to me sometimes too. I've noticed that some of Pitch War's ideas originated on Highdeology. Please clap. I like that you give us that level of involvement in that. Well, I mean, like as cancerous and shit as the chat is, Highdeology is like I think of it kind of like the lab. And you know, not every stream is great, not every stream is meant to be great, but every once in a while I'll stumble upon something that I think we can use in another property. And that happens a lot of times when I'm on here with TJ as well. We'll kind of start riffing on something, and you know, it'll have it. You know, Tim Allen had its birth on Highdeology, kind of, sort of. I mean, the first time we all kind of really talked about Tim Allen was on Highdeology, and you know, a lot of good ideas get had here. And to be honest with you, I have you guys to thank for a lot of them, at least for the genesis of them. You know, that's why I keep doing these. Is because like I mine good shit out of this. I find inspiration in this. I find now most of the time I just find tism, but every once in a while a little nugget of gold. And I find it really useful time spent, like lab time, like working on future bits possibly. Paul, your aliens pitch was top notch. We need some shit coming from that genre that's actually good. Yeah, dude, I'd like to see Ridley Scott like taken off the fucking project and give a crack to some kind of young director with a vision. I look forward to these streams a lot. Thanks for doing them. Well, thank you for coming to them. I wouldn't do them if, you know, there was nobody here to talk to, so. Your guy's attraction to the tism helped get JF laid. Yeah. I suspect that, like, quite a few guests on our show might have gotten a little bit estranged because, you know, they came on the show. I bet JF's not the only one that got a little muff, dude. Predator is greater than Alien? I don't think so, but you're welcome to your stupid fucking opinion. These days, a new director has to have a home run out of nowhere hit to get noticed instead of being given a chance from starting out. That's not entirely true, but a lot of the buzz, you know, the big buzz directors all are, like, somebody has to give them their break. No absolutely unknown motherfucker is getting a giant Hollywood movie. So you're looking at, you break multiple times when you're talking about a famous person's career. You break the initial time when you get some press, you know, you do something of note and people's eyes are on you. You break the second time when you get your first big project, and you break a third time when that project is insanely popular and successful. So, you know, there are tiers to getting famous, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. It's not just like somebody comes over and taps on your shoulder and you're suddenly a billionaire director that can pick his projects. Grabbing the back of your head. Oh my God, dude. The clock is just like having like, he's just fantasizing in the goddamn chat, dude. He keeps typing out like crazy fucking pornography. I don't know if he's lost his mind or if this is how he beats off, like knowing that people are reading his weird, like, sex narrative. Have you seen Neil Blomkamp's short films on YouTube? Maybe. The name doesn't ring a bell. I've seen a lot of bullshit on YouTube, so I might have seen it at some point. But I don't remember it if I have. He's lost his mind, and it's how he beats off. Oh, okay. I guess that those things wouldn't be mutually exclusive. Have you heard of Oats Studios? Oats. Oh, I've not heard of Oats. You're gonna go. See you later, kitty. Have a nice night or whatever day. What the fuck? You interact with chat a lot, Paul. I appreciate it. That's the whole point of these. Uh, except for the ones where, you know, I'm having a conversation with somebody. But 99% of Highdeologies are meant to be looks at the chat. Paul said earlier he has no idea what's going on with DP. Yep, and that's the truth. Damn, you look depressing. Holy shit. Maybe that's why I'm a depressive, because I have to look at myself in the fucking mirror every morning and I'm just like, oh, fuck. What's the point of even doing this? Yeah, Space Cowboys, you love licking. Whoa, dude, DeClock is. Whoa. Dude, I'm not reading DeClock's bullshit anymore. I'm going to let him do his thing because he's not being super crazy about it, but I ain't jumping on his bullshit no more, dude. I'm not going to help him fucking blow his load, dude. You're only halfway through Inland Empire and shit is getting intense. Yeah, I love that movie, dude. And it's a really divisive film. Do we know when the next DFF is? Tomorrow. Friday. Paul, will you ever consider going shooting? I know you probably wouldn't want to own a gun, but what about renting one and shooting? I used to shoot guns as a kid. I liked firing them. I like skeet shooting. I used to shoot 10 gauges and 12 gauges skeet shooting. I remember really enjoying it. So I guess I would go to a gun range. It's just not something that, like, I don't know. I don't get invited to gun ranges. And I would never go to one just on my own, probably. It's just not the type of place that I would go and just walk into and go, hey, you know. Like, I'd probably go with some people. And I'd probably enjoy myself. It's fun. What's your all-time favorite place here in California? Pismo Beach, dude. Pismo Beach. Hey, my parents just moved out of my parents' house to Fresno. What'd it do? Oh shit, dude. Sorry to hear that. I mean, whatever. Fresno gets a bad rap, but there are definitely worse places in the world to live. So, yeah, there's actually kind of like a fun local music scene in Fresno. Go to the Tower District, hang out, watch some bands playing shitty bars. You know, the Tower District's really good for that. Somebody new in town, if you want to meet new people, that's a good place to go. There are tons of little bars and clubs all up and down the tower. So, oh yeah, dude. Well, if you're a musician, then you're definitely gonna want to check out the Tower District. Like, definitely. That's where everybody's gonna be. Like, that's not where every show in Fresno happens, but that's where a lot of the art fags hang out. And you know, there's lots of venues that, you know, probably don't pay much, but get some eyeballs on your work and shit. Good place to start. What are you doing up during the night? It's not good for you. Go to bed and get a routine. No wonder you're depressed. You must structure your life. My routine involves staying up this late and sleeping in past what probably normal people would consider doing. I'm a nocturnal person by nature, and functioning outside of that is not a comfort thing for me. So, Paul, you and DP helped me through so many tough times. Thank you for all the laughs, helping my depression. I hope your futures are bright. Thank you, my friend. I hope yours is bright as well. What do you think of The Shining? I saw it yesterday for the first time, and it was meh, considering how high a praise it gets from every movie critic. I'll be honest with you, dude. I felt kind of similarly the first couple of times that I watched The Shining. And I know it's a hard sell to tell somebody to watch a movie again. But once you've seen the movie once or twice, something kind of happens if you rewatch The Shining. At least it did for me. I was not a huge fan of it the first time I watched it. I thought it was all right. I was like, okay, well, whatever. I was pretty young when I saw it too. That might have had a lot to do with it. But I remember just not being all that impressed with it. And then I went back to it and I was like, whoa. Paul, do you feel David Lynch was trying to expose the sexual exploitation in Hollywood? I mean, I think that's part of what he's doing with the Inland Empire. But there's a lot more going on in that movie. It's definitely not a movie where you can, point at an issue and go, yeah, that the movie's about that. Because it's about... That's what I love about David Lynch's movies, is his weird narrative games allow him to fucking play with language and play with time and reality in ways that it lets him tackle broader subjects and put them in movie form. And that's really what I think he's about. Full Metal Jacket was the same for me. The film kind of bothered me when I was younger, but it came to be one of my favorite films. It was almost similar with me. It bothered me, and the reason was because Private Joker, he looks like my dad. Like Private Joker, if you look at my dad's picture from when he went into the army when he was 18 years old, he looks like almost dead on like my dad. And so I used to be kind of creeped out watching the movie because I just kept associating Joker with my dad. And once I was able to let that go, I realized what a brilliant movie it was. Paul, why do you like movies? Boil it down, like it's escapism, right? Everybody engages in some form of escapism or another. Most people engage in several different types of escapism these days. For me, movies are the most comfortable kind of escapism. It's literally, I can tell my brain that nothing matters for an hour and a half or 2 hours while I'm watching a movie. All the shit that I worry about, all the anxieties of life and all the bullshit and all the drama and all the interpersonal conflict, I can literally turn my brain off for an hour and a half and just say, you know what, I only care about this. And that's a really, really rare thing in my life. So that's really, I think, at the core of why I love movies. Have you ever seen Return to Oz? Oh yeah, dude, that's a spooky movie, man. Like, I wouldn't call it a horror film, but man, it's presented like one for long stretches of its plot. And it's definitely, I think, meant to be that way. It's a very unsettling movie. There's something about it, man. Like, I remember the scariest part for me as a kid, because I saw Return to Oz as a kid as well. And I remember the scariest part to me as a kid was the part where she's in that big room filled with trinkets. And she has to pick which one is her friend. And it's not even, there's no jump scares or anything in it. But just the tension of that scene and the environment of it and the way that the Gnome King's face can kind of phase in and out of the walls and shit. Something about that was just fucked up. That was the scariest shit to me. Here's money. Flush the clock down the fucking toilet. I mean, he's just trying to get a nut, dude. If he gets out of hand, I'll put him in the corner. That's what I love about movies and very basic video games. Removes reality, and I get totally engaged. Well, when it's good anyway. Yeah, I can agree with that. What did you think about Interstellar? I actually have not seen Interstellar yet. And there's a reason for that. It's typically a movie that I would have seen by now. It's been out more than long enough for me to have seen it. There's something about it that I get these kind of preconceived notions in my mind sometimes about movies. And as soon as I started seeing promotional materials for Interstellar, all I could think was, oh, it's fucking, what's that movie with fucking Jodie Foster? Carl Sagan wrote it. Somebody in the chat will know. It's not. My brain keeps trying to say signs. Contact. Thank you. It's not signs. It's contact. Contact. Um, and I know it's probably not a whole lot like Contact, but my brain has associated it with Contact, and I liked Contact, but it's just not a movie I'm interested in going back and seeing again. And it's got Matthew McConaughey in it too. I just feel like the subject matter is similar on some level, and it's got Matthew McConaughey in it, and I'm just like, okay, it's Contact. All right. You gotta go in timeout now, dude. It's much worse than Contact. The themes are fucking stupid. I don't know. I know I'll eventually sit down and watch it, but I always find something else I want to watch more. So eventually, probably somebody will be watching it. They will have chosen it, and I'll sit down and watch it with them. And yeah, I saw Fire in the Sky. That's got some really tense scenes in it. Really cool too. Like that whole like scene of him waking up in the alien pod with the lack of gravity culminating in like him being pinned down to the table by the Greys. I mean, that's spooky shit, man. The movie itself, I got to be honest with you, I don't really like all that much. It's basically that scene and a couple of other scenes are this very centerpiece of the film, and the rest of it is just feels fillery, and I don't know. Stop being a faggot. No, you stop being a faggot. What did you think about Signs? It's probably one of the most memorable movies from when I was a kid because it introduced me to the ideas of aliens and it scared me shitless. Signs gets a lot of bullshit from people because it's implausible and it's got some really, really weird plot holes. But as a whole, I actually really like Signs. M. Night Shyamalan has this tendency to have actors give really dialed back performances. And sometimes it doesn't work, but in Signs, I think it does. I like that kind of monotone feel because it makes the moments of emotion feel actually impactful when characters aren't over the top emotionally. In fact, maybe they're even more reserved than you would expect a normal person to be. So I like Signs. Whatever. It's got a dumb ending. It's got a dumb twist, I guess. But I can forgive that. Endings aren't everything. Hearing the aliens on the roof in the theater was a shitting pants moment. Yeah, dude. I can imagine. I was a little older when Signs came out, so not quite of the age for it to terrify me or whatever, but yeah, the ending. I mean, it doesn't make sense. I've seen it ripped apart and heard it ripped apart so many times that, I'm not even going to try and argue that it makes sense. There's really not an argument for it. There's just some bad shit in there. Some bad decisions regarding the aliens. What do you want me to do? Is there a movie/movie you like, but everyone else seems to hate? I don't know that I have like any movies that I just absolutely fucking love and everybody else just despises. Um, I like some movies that a lot of people hate. David Lynch's movies are among those. A lot of people just can't stand them, don't like the experience of them. I'm on the other end of that spectrum. Mother. Yeah, I really liked Mother. In horror movie theaters, they should send people dressed as the horror movie monster to drag them out and scare the shit out of them. I don't know about that, but it would be cool to have like a movie incorporate some kind of ARG performance. Like, can you imagine like I don't know, like at one point, like people bust in with guns and shit. Like, fucking get down, at some critical point in the movie. It'd be pretty sweet. Or a horror movie like that too, yeah, where like the fucking boogly monster pops out of grabs people's legs and shit. That would be cool. They rigged up a theater to where like, you know, somebody could be underneath the floor and like reach up through easy holes and grab people's ankles or grab. That would be pretty sweet. That would probably get somebody killed. You're right. The people running in with guns, maybe bad idea. Here's more shekels. Shit talk mundane Matt's taste. I mean, mundane Matt is, from what I can tell, basically the anti-Paul when it comes to taste in films. I can't call his movie taste bad because it's all very subjective, but I can tell you that that dude likes some shit that is unwatchable. I think one time on the Peasants he defended the hot chick with Rob Schneider, and I was just like, man, that is a movie that is void of any good. And he was like, no, man, actually, it's pretty funny, man. I kind of like the hot chick with Rob Schneider. And I'm like, oh, fuck me, dude. I mean, that's the level, right? He, and see, I can't really point the finger at him too much because I like schlock horror a whole lot, but he likes just schlock of any genre. He'll eat it up. You know what I mean? And there's nothing worse than a comedy that doesn't work. And he likes a lot of comedies that just fundamentally do not work. I'm not trying to be nice about it. I just don't like calling other people's taste in stuff shit when taste is totally subjective. There's never been a more fitting name for anyone in history like Mundane Matt. That dude is a snooze fest. Poor Mundane Matt. He's saddled with that name, man. Rob Schneider is almost as good an actor as Tim Allen, both legendary actors and comedians. I mean, Rob Schneider was funny occasionally on Saturday Night Live. I like Deuce Bigelow, the first one. I thought that was pretty goddamn funny. He had some funny little cameos in other people's funny movies. He had a cameo in Happy Gilmore. A lot of the Saturday Night Live crew from the 90s had their own movie projects, and he'd pop up in those and be okay. But as like a centerpiece fucking star of a film, it doesn't work except for just a brilliant, comedy script. Like I said, Deuce Bigelow is pretty funny. It's very, very like adolescent teenage guy kind of humor, but it's done in a way that still makes the adolescent teenage dude in me go, hey. Rob Schneider isn't great, but he's not nearly as lame as Tim Allen. I tend to agree. Tim Allen's he's been in more shit and was more popular for longer. Will Gelvin is a retarded mongoloid luthier. All right. Thanks for that. I missed another super chat. Okay, sorry, man. Do you guys still plan on coming to Amsterdam? I live there and would love to meet you guys in real life. Sadly, missed the last one due to work. I don't know when, but I would really love to go to Amsterdam. I don't think it's out of the question that I'll end up there someday, probably with TJ and probably with Scotty. So, but I just can't tell you when and where and how. Whoa, dude. Put on the dunce cap and think about what you've just done. Paul, in your professional opinion, what's the perfect amount of hair for a pussy? I mean, I don't know, dude. Like, it's not something I really fuss over all that much, if I'm completely honest with you. Paul wishes he had money for. I mean, nobody wants like the big swampy fucking like dreadlock pussy. You know what I mean? Like some trimming is required, but like in between there and bald is all fine for me. For the record, I could be TJ's twin the way he looks in the latest thumbnail. Except I'm a Fundy Christian. Oh yeah, I'm a fan. You guys are hilarious. Dude, a Fundy Christian fan. I think we've talked before. You're a rare breed, but that's fine. Gotta have the Christian perspective. You ever miss San Antonio? I miss some things about it. This Christmas, like the little neighborhood that Ashley grew up in has this awesome like house decorating contest for Christmas. So it's like the whole neighborhood goes nuts with lights and props and fucking there's installations with real Santas and shit. That was, that always like helped to get me into the Christmas spirit around that time of year, and didn't get to see it this year. Did Tim Allen touch you or something? He touched you like you were a rusted truck. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And you know what I see when I look at that Paul? I see a rusty four-banger truck that just begging to be spit shined. Oh yeah. Oh. Yeah, dude. Sounds like your coil is going bad. It's actually fine. It just sizzles a little bit, dude. Like, it's not spitting or anything, so I'm fine with it. Been a subscriber for 10 years. Good to see you still making videos. Cool, man. What a long time to have been a subscriber. What a weird trip it's been for you with this channel. What an odd question. What is your opinion on holding down someone against their will and forcibly penetrating them? Don't do it. It's not a good thing to do. Whoa. Calm down, buddy. Oh, man. Now do you gotta go to the fucking... You gotta go to timeout. You gotta put the dunce cap on and sit in the corner. Think about what you've done. How do you feel about Tarantino directing a Star Trek film? I personally think he should do a standalone film about a young Klingon's quest for vengeance after his pa is murdered. I like the idea. I mean, I'm kind of a Tarantino fanboy, so I'm looking forward to what he does with it, if it indeed, is greenlit and goes forward. Brett Keane made a video where he wants to start a podcast with TJ. I know you're not covering him anymore. Why can't he let it go? Because we're the last little spark of relevance that, puts eyes on him. Like if nobody that watches us is watching him anymore, then nobody's watching him anymore. That's why. What's worse than a piece of entertainment? Something that's so incompetently made that it just hurts, or something that's just unbearably boring? There's no worse sin that a movie can commit than to be boring. I mean, I will forgive a whole lot of fuckery in a film, like bad special effects, bad acting. All of that shit is secondary to, is it engaging in any way to watch, even if it's in a so bad it's good kind of way. That's the question I'm always asking when I'm watching a movie. Am I engaged in this? Does this interest me? Or is this just a plotting, going nowhere piece of shit movie? Paul, have you read House of Leaves? If so, how awesome would a David Lynch? Oh man, dude. I read House of Leaves a long time ago. That's a totally unique experience of a book. And I don't know, man. David Lynch directing House of Leaves would be pretty cool. You've liked every single Wes Anderson movie you've seen too. Him and Tarantino are in the same grouping in your mind. I don't really agree. I wouldn't group Tarantino with Anderson. I like Wes Anderson, but I've seen some of his shit that I just didn't like. I didn't like the fuck the fucking Darjeeling Limited or whatever the fuck. I'm not a fan of The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou. I'm just not really, don't really like that one. Like Moonrise Kingdom. Love Rushmore. Paul, what is your shirt size? What is your shirt? I didn't really like Grand Budapest Hotel. I liked, what's the other one? The one with the fucking crazy ass family. Oh, Fantastic Mr. Fox. Yeah, see, I'm kind of meh on that too. Not Moonrise Kingdom. The fucking. It's not the Grand Budapest Hotel. The Royal Tenenbaums. There you go. I like that one. I watched Lulgic as a teen, then forgot the channel existed for 5 years till you showed up on DP. It was weird. I think you have a lot of longtime fans. That's crazy. That is crazy. Thank you, my friend. Yeah, the Royal Tenenbaums. I don't know, dude. Rushmore is fucking brilliant, though. Like, that is definitely in a top 10 all-time movie for me. Seen people complain about Django Unchained because it has too many N-words. What a bunch of fags. Yeah, I don't know. Like, people are always going to look for things to complain about that offend them in films. Because they want a little world that's tailor-made to their tastes and shit. And who can blame them? But I like variety. Variety is the spice of life, right? Actually, I didn't find DP to be palatable until you became a recurring guest, and I was stoked when you became an official peasant. Thank you, my friend. Paul, your thoughts on the phrase touching base? I think it's overused, like in business environments. Like when I was working for the school district and going to meetings and shit and trying to set things up with teachers and this, that. Like every email I got with a teacher or from a teacher usually included the phrase in some way or another, you know. Hey, Paul, it's Mrs. So-and-so. Just wanted to see if we could touch base and, learn a little bit about the Promethean board. And then, a coworker that's that has the same job description of me is like, yeah, I just wanted to touch base with you on that thing we were working on last week. Touch base, touch base, touch base, touch base, touch base. I just want to touch base. Hey, can we touch base? Hey, Paul, when are you going to have some time that we can get together to touch base? The sequel to Mad Max Fury Road has been put on indefinite hiatus because WB screwed George Miller out of it. Wow. I don't blame him. I mean, that kind of sucks for everybody else. WB needs to fucking cough up the money. Because Fury Road was fucking great. Touch base, touch base. You want to touch base? Anybody want to touch base? I have gifts I wanted to send in the DP mailbox. They're going to be a way to still send those gifts to you guys in the future. I think you'd like them. There probably will be at some point in the future. Right now, there isn't. Touch base. Touch base, touch base, touch base. Always watched for basically free, so here's money. Oh, thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. Orange box is $1.99 on Steam. Cool. That's a good purchase. Can't go wrong with the orange box, man. Paul, go to bed. Fuck you. Dude, a VHS of 200 motels. Cool. Touch base. Touch base sounds like a phrase that middle-aged men use to sound hip. Yeah. Like, you hear that stuff a lot, too. That, like, the lingo nowadays, like oh, it's Liddy, fam. Dude, how was the party last night? Oh, it was Liddy, fam. Did you meet any hot bitches? Oh, yeah, I dabbed on those hot bitches, fam. And like, dude, I would never use that. I'm fucking way too old for that shit. You'll never hear me unironically saying something as Liddy, fam, or whatever the next retarded fucking bunch of bullshit is. People who say bro are greater than people who say fam. Yeah, I like bro or dude. Like, I use dude a lot. But that's just regional, I think. Everybody where I grew up says dude all the time. Dude. 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 Liddy, dude. It's Liddy. Are we living in the autistic age? I really do think that the age of tism is upon us. I think that the age of the autist is ascendant. And, you know, whatever. They deserve their time in the sun, too. You know what I mean? And they seem to be very, you know, chaotic in nature in terms of just wanting to rip things apart. So maybe we need it. I don't know. Maybe the tism plague is actually a cleansing. What are your 3 favorite TV game shows? All right. I can try to do this offhand. Let's see. Number 3, I'd probably go Family Feud for number 3. That one's fun to play along with. Number 2, I'd probably go Jeopardy because that's also fun to play along with. And number 1, the king of game shows, The Price is Right. Especially the old ones with Bob Barker and Rod Roddy, dude. The Price is fucking right. You can't go wrong with The Price is Right. Whose line is it anyway? I don't even really think that's a game show, though. It's not like contestants and shit. It's like an improv show. Paul, what do you think of Alien 3 and Alien 4? I think Alien 3 is unfairly maligned. It's still not great, especially in comparison to Aliens and Alien. But I think a lot of people shit a little too hard on Alien 3. Alien Resurrection is pretty bad all the way through. You like Prometheus? I didn't hate Prometheus. I wasn't like blown out of my socks with it, but I thought it was pretty good. Alex Jones is my favorite TV game show. Oh, cool. Yeah, I forgot about that one. Forgot about the Alex Jones. I'm wondering, Paul, what's your favorite movie ever? I've talked about it before, but it's Aliens. Alien 3 is underrated. Agreed. Yeah. I mean, look, it's got some problems, but it's moody and it's got some really atmospheric scenes. I think it is a good showcase of the xenomorph. There's some really memorable, kind of haunting scenes in it. I always had a hard time watching that scene where she hooks Bishop back up one last time. I thought that was really well done. The setting is certainly interesting, and the politics of that, I think, add something pretty interesting to the film. So there's a lot of good things going on in Alien 3. Do you remember Croesus Borg from the old YouTube days? Whatever happened to him? He was, if I'm remembering correctly, he was like a Christian dude, right? Who, I don't know, like there's a lot of those dudes, like a lot of those old Christian channels that were around a lot, like Yoke Up and I guess fucking Venom Fang's still around, so some of them have survived. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, yeah, dude. Favorite Stephen King adaptation, Paul? I love The Green Mile. I mean, it's hard not to pick The Shining when talking about this. I really like The Mist as well, the film, not the weird series. It's kind of like that in a lot of old era, smaller atheist Christian YouTube channels are gone. They were often hilarious. Only a few seem to have survived. Yeah, Yoke Up was like, I don't know, man. Back in the early days of YouTube, people like it was almost like you were working your way up the boss ladder. You know what I mean? Like you had all these like atheist channels that were popping up out of nowhere to make these attack videos against these pretty well established Christian channels with pretty big followings. And there were you could just type in one of their names and you'd see like 8 videos made that week of, just different people. And fucking Yoke Up was one of my favorites to fuck with because he was just so incredibly like deluded in so many aspects of his life. He was just so incredibly fucking deluded, and you know, I don't know. He was an interesting character for sure. Yoke up. Say something in Spanish. No. That's in Spanish. There you go. Do you ever feel like a plastic bag drifting through the wind, wanting to start again? Yep. Sometimes I feel like I want to ignite the light, and let it shine. Is that moonshine? Yes, pure moonshine. What is this pathetic bum doing with his life? I don't know, Bobby. What are you doing with your life? What is this pathetic bum doing with his life? From what I can see from here, and I don't get a very wide view of your life, but it looks like you're chilling in a fucking late night fucking stream being a salty dog. And really, you could just join the goddamn fucking crew, dude. You could join in. You could ask a question, and I might read that question, and it might spark a cool conversation. You know what I mean? But instead, you decide to bring your salt, your overwhelming, pungent salt in here and be a sour Skittle. And that's a terrible choice, dude. It's a terrible choice. No salty dogs, yeah. No salty dogs at all. Is his salt iodized? I don't know, man. I don't want to taste anymore. I can't tell. It's okay, Paul. Haters gonna hate. It is what it is. I mean, like, look, dude. The amount of fucking gobbledygook that is slung at me daily on this show, I'm pretty much impervious at this point. It all just rolls off the fucking back. Get more fries, then more salt is a good. Yeah, that's true. I mean, you can get overly salty fucking fries sometimes, but usually, you know, any salt is good salt. Now I just want fries. God damn it. Why are you doing the show in the cold shed? Because it's quiet out here, and I can be loud if I want to out here. Nobody cares, and it's comfortable. I like it in here. Have you seen The Last Jedi yet? What are your thoughts if you have? Yeah, I've seen it. Um, I don't know. I've talked a little bit about it on the show before, but I felt it was really mediocre, both as a Star Wars property and just as a movie. If you take it outside of the context of Star Wars, I just thought it was a very, I don't know, mushy, gray, vanilla kind of experience. There was a couple of little bright spots. There were some cool moments, but not enough to make up for the overwhelming blanket of mundanity that's just thrown over the whole fucking film. Hey, Paul, what's your opinion on the idea that blah 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 that something can come from nothing? I mean, pretty much everyone agrees it can. They just argue about the method. I mean, not to steal a tactic from Matt Dillahunty, but in order for me to answer that question, you'll have to tell me what nothing is, because we don't have any nothing that we can study. So when you say something coming from nothing, I don't even know what nothing is. There's not an example of nothing anywhere in the universe that we can take a look at and examine. So before we can answer the question, can something come from nothing, we've got to find out what the fuck nothing is. Paul, do you listen to any atheist podcasts? No, I do not. Last Jedi was good. Paul is jealous and trendy, confirmed. Sorry, I'm just giving you my honest opinion about it. I'm a Star Wars fan from way back. Saw the movies when I was a kid, was obsessed with them, had toys, and, you know, just love Star Wars. And there hasn't really been a good Star Wars movie. I mean, I don't know. The first, the whatever it is, the one that preceded The Last Jedi, it was mediocre for different reasons, but I feel like it's a slightly better experience. This one, I don't know. Seemed like it had less high points, but whatever. It doesn't really matter. They're both very, very mediocre films. Super chat. Let me see. Any chance we'll see Billy as a guest on DFF? I am not sure. I wouldn't have a problem with it, but that, you know, we'll see. As TJ would scream into the camera, it's dog shit. Yeah. I mean, it had cooler characters. Yeah, but it treated them worse. So we got this cool character, you know, played by Benicio del Toro, but he's just kind of not used anywhere near enough in the movie. Too much is done outside of him that could have been cut to, you know. So we get this new character that is established and then just kind of goes nowhere. The Last Jedi also introduced some really useless characters like purple hair Admiral bitch or whatever her name was. which was just like, why can't Princess Leia be doing this? Like, wouldn't that have been a cooler way to send Leia out? Have her be the one that fucking crashes the Corellian Corvette or whatever into the goddamn side of the fucking Star Destroyer. I mean, that would be pretty fucking cool. But no, Paul, genuine question. Why is it that if you dislike anything that's currently popular, you instantly get called a hipster faggot by everyone? Because everybody, like, people want you to have their same opinion about everything. I mean, people like conformity. They like feeling like they're members of a group. And so, you know, they advocate for things like it matters outside of that conversation. You'll never top the original 3 Star Wars. The Last Jedi was okay, but I related to Luke. Fuck this shit, throwing the lightsaber. Yeah, that was a pretty funny moment, honestly, because it really it was probably the ballsiest thing that the movie did, honestly, because it just defied the expectations of a million fanboys worldwide. You know what I mean? Like, we'd already seen the beginning of that, and we're expecting him to, you know, give some speech or fire up the lightsaber. And, you know, there's all this speculation. Nobody was speculating that he's just going to throw it. It was good. Like I said, probably the gutsiest thing that was done with the film. Paul, do you have a theory on why sometimes angry people are funny to witness, especially when in an uncontrolled rage? Like, you're talking about, like, why people like watching freak out videos and shit, like people melting down in public or whatever. Yeah, I have a fascination with those kind of videos, and I think a lot of it has to do with, it's almost cathartic watching somebody just absolutely lose their shit. You know, you have the a feeling when watching it that, man, I could never do that. But, you know, what a release it would be to just shit myself in public and start throwing fucking shit at people and just not care about anything. It's like seeing the other end of your life, which is governed by rules, you know, seeing somebody totally defying those social norms and, you know, regulations and rules that keep everybody in line in public and just melting down and having a fucking shit fit. I think a lot of people watch them because they just feel like it's something that they're never going to get the opportunity to do, never would do. Dude, when they barraged Luke with those massive lasers, that was like insane. I thought, wow, Disney, that's a creative way to kill off one of your most beloved characters. Yeah, I had a feeling he was just still going to be standing there. I mean, it's kind of like a Dragon Ball Z moment, you know, when Boo goes up in the sky and unleashes a billion different Kamehamehas and they all fucking hit Goku, and you're like, oh no, Goku. But then, you know, the smoke clears and Goku is kneeling there with his shirt all ripped on a little fucking island of Earth in the middle of a big crater, like, and then fucking, you know, Frieza's like, what? No, that cannot be. No man has ever withstood the Kamehameha multiverse ball. And then, you know, Goku goes, I'm no man. I'm a Saiyan. Kamehameha. Stop being a loathsome cunt. Boo and Frieza. Yeah, Boo and Frieza, dude. Paul, what are your thoughts on Donald calling African countries shitholes? I think it was like more than just African countries. I mean, whatever. Like, here's the thing. Are a lot of the countries on that list shithole countries? Yes. Is it okay for, like, the diplomat in chief to say it? No. I'm sorry. Like, I don't mean to, tone police the president or whatever, but like, when it's your job to represent us to other fucking nations and shit, calling their country shitholes is not really the way to do it. It's also not really a way to get other countries that aren't shitholes to want to work with you or cooperate with you at all. It's not a very presidential thing to say. I think that's understating it by a pretty wide margin. What are your thoughts on a Star Wars trilogy with a Sith Lord as the protagonist? That'd be pretty cool, man. Like, start with their dark side training and really like, I don't know. It's one of those things that I don't know that you'll ever see because it doesn't have that classic element. I guess you'd have to make the enemies be within the Sith, but not have it be a good guy motivation. He's not turning to the light side. He's fighting. I don't know. It'd be pretty cool. Trump's a shithole too, so I guess it evens out a bit. Yeah. All right. Well, I got to go to bed.